Today I'm inside of Grovewood. I was actually planning to stream on the Ride 2 because I thought I'd reinstall that, and there's a reason why I thought I would reinstall it. And about a year ago on the channel, I made a video because I saw some information about a Isles of Man TT game in the making, and apparently it was supposed to come out this year. However, there was like nothing else for ages, so I just presumed in the end it was a fake bit of news, it wasn't gonna happen, or something fell through and the game wasn't able to be created. However, there's been some more news about it, and if you guys don't know, it's actually been the TT in real this year, just recently, and some of the popular riders, John McGuinness, have actually been in like a room testing it out, and apparently, if you went over to the TT to spectate and stuff, you could actually go to certain parts on the course and you could go in and actually test out the game. So the game actually is in the making. It's actually coming out later this year, and that we're actually getting a TT game. Like, I cannot wait. I hope it's a good TT game. The only sort of disappointing thing about, I wish the TT game was made by the same people who made Ride, because the Ride game was, Ride 1 and Ride 2, Ride 2 especially, is such an amazing game. It's so good riding the bike. Um, but I'm looking forward to it. So I've actually seen gameplay of what it looks like. Now, this gameplay itself was hard to see gameplay. You kind of watched a video of John McGuinness actually playing it on a little TV screen, so you only sort of got a little bit of the loading screen, and you saw a bit of him setting off round the course. So I believe obviously it's not coming, it's not out yet. It's not due to be out for a few months or so yet. I'm not sure when it comes out. So I believe they will be actually tweaking it up and having a little bit of a a redo with it, making it a little bit more better. But other than that, I'm really looking forward to it coming out. Now, you guys might be thinking, why am I so looking forward to this game coming out more than just any motorbike game? I mean, surely you're gonna just do the same thing, which is race motorbikes. But I have a lot of respect for the TT riders. Now, I always compare TT riders to football, because I know footballers get a ton of money, and I understand that footballers get, a lot of cash for what they do, but a footballer falls over and grazes his knee, and he cries and he can't compete for the rest of the match. A TT rider literally comes off a bike. Well, let's take let's have a think of a rider, right? Let's take Connor Cummins for example. So Connor Cummins came off in the TT in 2010. His bike slipped on a corner and he rolled down a mountain. And I'm not talking a hill. I'm talking a mountain which could have paralysed him from head to toe. And he practically was paralysed for so long, right? Literally, like, he wasn't paralysed forever, but he was, he had to wear a lot of, things to kind of hold his arms and legs in place. He was in a very bad way. He was unconscious, went into a coma, didn't know if he was going to make it. And bearing in mind, going round this course, they're doing sometimes on the straights, they're doing sort of just short of 200 miles per hour. Like, that's literally no joke. Going through straights, coming through towns and villages, they're actually pulling off speeds of nearly 200 miles per hour, and they're going into brick walls. They're sliding off. It was only the other not too long ago in the TT that someone's bike set on fire. And basically, if he didn't jump off the bike at 130, he would go into the brick wall and blow up and die with the bike. However, he could take the risk of maybe a broken arm and a broken leg and jump off the bike at 130. So if you guys get what I mean, TT riders, MotoGP riders, bike riders are a lot more daring than footballers. You know what I mean? Hi. And to be honest, motorbike riders, big motorbike riders like Guy Martin, people like them, they make quite a lot of money now because they've obviously done other things besides bikes. Now they've done a lot of TV commercials, not commercials, like like documentaries. Guy Martin's done things like The Boat What Guy Built as well. But people die on the TT every single year. So, oh hi. People die on the TT every single year, and you know what I mean, like, and then like people compare football to be better. Like a footballer grazes his knee, and he cries and goes off the pitch and has a little sulk and can't compete for the next race. Some TT riders come off at like 140 miles per hour, have a couple of days break, and then get back on the bike. Some TT riders come off and try to get back on the bike literally once they've come off, not realising that that they've actually done something wrong. Can you play? Yeah, sure. The world should be open if you already have me as a friend. Yeah, there was a bike rider the other day who came off. Not the other day. I'm maybe talking like a couple of months back. He came off a bike pretty bad, and he didn't realise that he'd actually broken his shoulder. And he basically carried on. He did a dirt track race, from his normal MotoGP race, and he did a dirt track race, and basically carried on, like nothing had happened, and then found out he had a broken shoulder. Like a footballer grazes his knee and goes off crying, hand on heart, whether footballers get a lot of money or not, they're a bunch of wimps. They're a bunch of wimps. I mean, grazing your knee on a bit of grass compared to coming off on tarmac road at like 150 miles per hour. Bearing in mind, these people don't ask for millions of pounds. They do it off of their own steam. They don't say, right, I'll ride this bike if I earn millions of pounds a week. Whereas footballers say, I want to earn millions of pounds a week if I'm kicking this ball and grazing my knee. The wimps are footballers. That's all I'm going to say. Footballers, in my opinion, are absolute wimps. But each to their own, people like football. I don't diss people for liking football. I don't diss people for hating motorbike riders or F1 car drivers, but I have a lot of respect for motorbike riders. And my granddad used to be a motorbike rider himself round the TT. So he did it back he did it from sort of like the early 60s to about 1994. He sort of did a good God knows how many years of it. And he also did other track meetings as well. He went round Oliver's Mount at Scarborough, went across to Ireland, Dundrod. He did loads of racing, did my granddad. And I don't know if you guys, have ever seen a vlog, but I did a vlog once and I showed pictures to show proof that he was racing. Not that you guys wouldn't believe me, not that I'd make it up, but some people are kind of like, oh yeah, as if your granddad would do all that, like. But he actually did, so I do have a video with pictures showing that he has raced the TT. Well, actually the Manx Grand Prix, which is, the TT is for like the modern bikes, what you kind of see today. And then the Manx Grand Prix is the classic bikes, which is what Grandad raced. So basically, all the older bikes are for the Manx Grand Prix. So all the bikes what were modern back then in the TT will now be in the Manx Grand Prix because they're the older bikes, if that makes sense. So the bikes what are in the TT now will more than likely be in the Manx Grand Prix in, let's say, 20 to 30 years time, if you know what I mean, if the TT's still going, which I believe it will be. But that's pretty much it, you know. He did race it, and that's one of the reasons why I'm so hyped for the game coming out. Because it means that I get to race round the track where my granddad raced round, even if it's only on a video game, you know. So yeah, guys, that is what. So I was going to stream on the ride to tell you about this new game because I thought bikes and bikes kind of go together, don't they? You know, why not play a bike game while talking about the release of a new bike game? I thought that would be quite cool to do, which is, you know, quite good. Which is, you know, again, I'm looking forward to it and all of that shiz, which is good. I can't wait. So like I say, I'm not sure when the game's going to come out. It's probably going to come out sort of in the autumn time, in my opinion. I'm guessing. I'm not completely sure. I'm thinking it's going to be sort of around September time, so are you switching to Xbox? No. Why would I switch to Xbox? Forget that. I as a PS4, you know you can use Blockpick. Yeah, I know I can. I've been using it. I just haven't been on this world for a while, so I didn't have it set up on here. But yeah, I used PickBlock. I used it to get this white colour on my road and stuff like that. Because I thought, you know, why not? Type thing. But yeah, I've been using PickBlock, you know me. Let me just... No, that's good. It's set up in all worlds. It's not for me. I have it set up in my Los Ashley's world, but then when I come on here it wasn't set up. But if I join a friend's world, then it's already set up for me. But no, it wasn't set up in here. I have to set it in each of my worlds. Loads of people are switching to Xbox. Yeah, well, forget Xbox. Are you switching to Xbox? The new update. You know? Are you gonna switch to Xbox? I've always been a PlayStation user. Well, I have had an Xbox before, but when I was younger, I used to have what was called a main console, and I used to have then what was a side console. So my main console was the one what I had at the house where I lived, which was my PS3 at the time, what had the online and all the games. And then I had what was called my side console, which I had an Xbox 360, which was just set up to a little TV at my nan's. So when I came in the summer holidays, I could play a few games, and when I had friends round, we could do some, you know, split screen on some racing games. You know, no need to do online. Oh, fair enough. You know, so that type of thing. And that's why I had an Xbox, because at the time it was just cheaper to get an Xbox for a little something to play at my nan's while I came like after school or in the summer holidays. And then at home I had like my PlayStation, which was the main console, what I didn't move about or take anywhere. And I liked it. It was good, but I took the Xbox to my mum's when my stepdad's Xbox broke, and I never got it back, and I think it went missing when they moved. But I wasn't that bothered as such because, you know, I'm not a big Xbox fan. Like I say, I just used it for a few racing games really, and you know, I think I got Minecraft on there as well, when I first got into Minecraft. But apart from that, you know, I didn't really bother with it loads. It was just there for something to do when I came to my nan's, which was, like I said, to play a few racing games. So yeah, guys, today is hopefully going to be the last day of the clubbing event. So if you don't know, I went to a clubbing event last week up in Yarm, evening with Paul Taylor, and today is what I hope is going to be the last day of me uploading videos from it. So I'm going to upload a couple of videos today, and then I'm going to upload the final video, which is the no, I didn't. Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. So hopefully today is going to be the day where I upload the last video what I took there on the night. Now I haven't uploaded every video I took because some videos just weren't worth uploading once you've had a few drinks and you maybe knock the play button and it just plays a few seconds and then you stop it. So I only upload the decent videos I took where like a good song comes in or you can really see the DJ, that type of thing. So I think I'm going to upload a couple more videos from that. Then I'm going to upload the end one. Then probably tomorrow or Tuesday I'm going to upload the My Thoughts video. Now, after this clubbing event, that's going to be it for a while. She is 4K, we can make our own texture packs and skins, new mod servers, crossplay and more. Wait, when's this update? Has this update come out? I'm confused now. I'd love to make my own texture pack though. This summer, but only for Xbox. Oh, fair enough. I think PlayStation will get it sometime. Maybe not for a while, but, you know. There has been times in the past where Xbox has, you know, where PlayStation's had updates before Xbox. So I reckon PlayStation will get it at some point, because once they see that everybody's moving over to Xbox, they'll think, well, we need to have this update to try and keep some people over and keep them playing PlayStation or something, you know. Sony said no to the... Really? Well, then that's just stupid, to be honest with you. But yeah, guys, this is going to be the last clubbing event for a while. And when I say a while, I mean a while. Which is a bit of a shame. But it's kind of technically my own fault. So I think the next one is actually in July. Not sure if I'm going to be able to make it, but we're just going to have to see. But I've gone and done a terrible thing, and I need to like have a good weeks of saving. Like I'm literally going to hardly get no wages next week now because of what I've done. So basically, you know, we went to the clubbing event last week. And when I got to the hotel, I had to pay for the hotel on my card, because I booked the hotel room online, but you don't pay till you get to the hotel room. So you book it online, but you pay them when you get there. So I paid them on my card because I needed the notes in my wallet for, you know, getting the taxi down and getting drinks at the club, type thing. And plus I'd already like booked it with my card. But I didn't realise it was the same week that my motorbike insurance came out. So we paid £35 for the hotel, and then my motorbike insurance was like £48, which was a little bit, you know, a little bit expensive, but I didn't realise at the time. So I then, in the week, went and bought some iTunes albums for mixing on my iPad, and I bought a couple of albums. I've bought, you know, a couple of good albums, which, you know, which brought it up to like £30 without me realising. My phone bill was then also due this week, so I believe they've took cash out for the phone bill, and basically I got letters from the bank saying that I went overdrawn. And basically I got a letter the other week, last week, earlier on in the week, and we had someone round at the house, and it said I was something like £14 overdrawn. So I thought, oh yeah, it's nothing that bad. I can soon put that in and sort it out, you know, at the weekend kind of thing. It's just £14. You know, it's really nothing. So I got rid of the letter, and I thought, you know, to save any, you know, arguments with family, you know, as soon as I had a spare, you know, like tenner and a fiver, you know, I'd go ahead and put the cash in to pay for it when I got my wages. However, I got another letter which we thought was a statement, and basically what happened is I didn't open the letter at first because we got busy for whatever reason. And basically my nan decided to open it yesterday when I'd gone out to visit my mum, and basically I was a lot more overdrawn than I thought. Basically, because all of them things kind of came due at the same time, I made the mistake of buying the iTunes albums, which put the bill up too much, which meant when I paid for the bike insurance and the hotel and that, it means I basically ran out of funds in the bank, and I then bought the iTunes albums not realising I was low on the funds in the bank, and I then went overdrawn and I started owing back. And my nan had to go ahead and take money out of our business account, which is for work, and she had to put it in my bank to stop me from going into some really bad debt, if you get what I mean. So basically she's not too happy with me, and to be honest, I'm not too happy with myself. It was a genuine mistake. I didn't realise that all these things were due at the same week, you know. Like, for example, like, it wouldn't have been as bad if I hadn't have paid for the hotel, but obviously I booked to go already, kind of thing. But because I didn't realise the bike insurance was due on the same day, I thought because when I got a statement before I booked the hotel, I was quite well off in the bank, you know, I had quite a decent amount of cash in there, so I thought, oh yeah, you know, I'm not too bad in the bank, and I'll buy a few iTunes albums this week, you know, because I'm not doing too bad in the bank. But I didn't realise that the bike insurance was due, which kind of basically meant that more had come out of my bank for that reason than I had thought, and then I went ahead thinking there was still money in there and bought these iTunes albums. And I basically made a stupid mistake of doing that. It was kind of a mistake because I didn't know, but I didn't realise I had gone overdrawn. I had no clue that they were all due at the same time, because, like I say, before I paid for the hotel, when I had a statement, I was fine in the bank. You know, I practically had over £100 in there, and well, I had about £90 because I always put money in the bank every week. I put like £20 in, but a week before, I was having a weekend of doing nothing, you know, when we were staying in, because we were going to Yarm the next weekend. So what happened is I decided to put more money in the bank than I usually would. So I put £50 in the bank to keep me better off, and I thought I was better off than I thought. But then, like I say, these things came overdue. And you know, these payments all came out at the same time, and it basically made my bank account empty. And then I bought these iTunes albums without knowing that my bank account was empty, and now obviously it's made, you know, so basically I owe £50 out of my wages next week to go back into the business, because they can't miss it. You know, they can't miss the payment type thing. So clubbing year's taking a break because I need to go ahead and have a few weeks of not spending it, if that makes sense. I need to kind of get built back up in my bank so I can, you know, so I make sure I have enough to pay stuff off that I need to pay. You know, such as bike insurance and things when it's due. Well, I'm cancelling the bike insurance because I want to change bike, but basically the clubbing year is kind of there's going to be nothing happening for, let's say, a good month from now, that I know of at the, you know, at the least. And you know, like I say, even if I hadn't gone overdrawn in the bank, we would have still probably had this month off anyway because I have a few things coming up in the next few weekends what aren't to do with clubbing year. For example, I'm going to Skegness next weekend, which is on a coach trip with my nan and my auntie. It's organised by my auntie's husband, who used to be in the Navy, so they do like Navy dues, and they can get us on the, you know, on the bus. So we're going for a day out there. Then the weekend after, I'm on a week's holiday, so there'll be no streaming or no uploading for a whole week, until I get back. We're going down south, and then I'm not sure if something's happening the week after. I think the week after, I think I have a week off of work because my dad's going on holiday for his birthday. He's going to one of them caravan sites like a haven thing with my sister and them. So I will probably be quite skint that week. So it's going to be looking on towards, you know, a month, maybe a month and a week or so before the next clubbing event actually happens, because like I say, I can't afford to go to it with my bank flows, but we have a lot of other things coming up, you know, in real as well, which are stopping me from going. So the bank issue isn't exactly what you would call the real reason why there's no clubbing events, like, because I can't go for a few weeks anyway because I've got these family holidays and things coming up and days out. So, you know, like, but the bank statement is just something I needed to say because, you know, I need to take it more steady for clubbing year now. But the reason I got in the bank flow statement, the bank, whatever you want to call it, wasn't because of clubbing year. It was just because I simply bought some albums on iTunes without realising I didn't have enough in the bank to buy them, and now I owe it back basically. But I thought I'd let you know because it kind of does affect clubbing year in a way, and we need to know in future, don't we? But I'm cancelling my bike insurance because I want to get a different bike at some point. Now you guys are probably going to rumour and say that it's because I can't ride it. It's not because I can't ride it. As a matter of fact, I can ride the NSR fine, and I love the NSR to bits. And I spent a year riding it. I rode it to Hull every day, 3 days a week basically. When I went to college, I've had it up to about 100, and I've been quite far distances on it. I've been to Whitby on it and stuff like that. So I'm not exactly what you would call scared to ride it, but where I live, it's really hard to get it round two little like really sharp bends in our garden to get it out to the front. It's basically where the extension of the kitchen comes out and goes like right near a shed, and it kind of creates a thin, almost like alleyway, and then there's a really sharp turn and there's a step up into what we call the dairy, and it's really awkward to lift that heavy bike round the corner and get it to the front without it catching the wall and stuff like that. So basically what I need is something a little bit smaller now, not smaller in cc, but smaller in things as such as, you know, smaller in smaller in you know, like in as in the size of the bike, as in like I want a bit of a smaller looking bike, what isn't as heavy to carry round. So that's the plan, to do that. Because it like I say, it's really hard to get the it's really hard to get the it's really hard to get the bike round the back to the front, which is a good thing in a way, because if anybody tried to steal it, they'd probably won't be able to get it round without waking us up. But when I'm the type of person who would like to ride it more regular, it's not the ideal thing. And I can't always get it round on my own either, and sometimes family members can't always be there to wipe my arse and carry it round for me, because obviously they've got things of their own to do. You know, if you get what I mean. And that's pretty much, you know. What was it? Oh yeah, that was it. There we go. Oh no. But yeah. Okay. Hi. Yeah, if you're new here, you won't know what I was on about. If you're a long time subscriber of the channel, then you'll have known exactly what I was talking about. You know, I was talking about my motorbike in real life. Just thought I would, you know, let you know. How you doing anyway? Welcome to the stream. So I apologise if you find these streams boring as well, but I kind of stream to get things off of my chest. It might sound a bit stupid. Like, it might sound a bit stupid, but I stream to get things off of my chest. If I've got something on my mind, then I just stream, build, talk about it. Two secs. Yo. No, it's fine. No, no. Yeah.
Who's this? 2 minutes.